My name is Harry Yeff. I'm also known as Reeps1, and I am part of the Experiments in Art and Technology program at Bell Labs. I'm also the founder of R100 Studios, and I'm mostly interested in being a musician, an artist in research. My job is to push the human voice as far as it can possibly go and explore how the human voice is innovating, which in itself is a very strange idea, because the voice is as old as we are. How can something as old as humanity itself continue to evolve and change? But it is, and in extremely exciting ways. The human voice allows us to connect with each other, our loved ones, our working relationships, our loving relationships, but most importantly, ourselves. And now in the age of assistance, in the age of artificial intelligence, it's becoming a medium in which we can explore and interact with the world around us. And as an artist, I aim to build and create installations, performances that really test the capabilities of the voice, voice-centered experiences. When I talk about the voice, I always see it as an augmented tool. It's always affected by the people around us, but now it's affected and impacted by technology. So when I say augmented relationships, what do I really mean? A very simple way to describe an augmented relationship can start with me as a tournament chess player growing up. My first AI interaction was with an AI chess opponent. It didn't matter how long I studied or looked at books, it was always battling this AI opponent that pushed me to become something more, a better player. And I have very fond memories of that relationship with that tool. My opponents were actually my greatest collaborators. And I think AI can be our greatest collaborator today. It can be an opponent, a mentor, and a collaborator simultaneously. And this idea is extremely exciting when you think of it in terms of an interruption, an intelligent interruption. There's a saying in chess which is, with every success you dip yourself in brass. That means that your habits and your strengths can become your prism. Plasticity can reduce as we get older. And the things that we're good at can become our linear path, but we must smash down the brass. We must interrupt ourselves to make sure that our perspective is always widening. And technology can be responsible for that widening. An amazing example is an installation that I co-created with The Mill and Rama Allen in New York. It was called Sea Sound, and it looks a little bit like this. Sea Sound is a vocal sculpting tool. You can use the voice to bend and shape digital metals. You can make something that appears extremely precious, because every voice is extremely precious. It's like a unique fingerprint. And people don't think in those terms, that there is this remarkable cross-section of senses and consciousness that meets here. And as I said, technology can make us flower, but where's an example of that? I use this tool to make crazy sounds and perform and create structures and installations and be virtuosic with. But what was really special was when we opened this tool up to the general public. Many people used the tool, but there was one extremely shy young girl who was like a koala bear attached to her father's leg. She did not want to talk to anyone. But she waited in line, and her turn came to walk up to the microphone, and her silence became an utterance, and her utterance became a voice, and the voice became a shout, and the shout became laughter and screaming. She flowered, she opened up, and that was a direct result to the unusual and unexpected augmented relationship with this technology. A piece of art gave the courage to a young person to use their voice, to shout and to scream. It's augmented relationships like this that can encourage new relationships with technology. But what gets in the way of people being open and willing to connect in this way? And the key idea is narrative. There can be incorrect or misinformed narratives around technology. We can also leave the narratives of science fiction to govern the masses and general public's opinion of technology. But what we actually have to do is update the general public to the present using experience and awe. It's such a shame that all these beautiful tools of reason that have been developed, we know are now not enough to make someone spend time to break their habitual thinking. It's extremely difficult to get someone to open their mind to something brand new when it is seen as inaccessible and elitist or expensive. And the truth is, technology is none of these things. It's something we're all using every single day to enhance our daily lives. We have to change narratives of fear to narratives of ownership. And it's only when we do this can we really update the general public to a clearer collective goal when it comes to how we use technology. This, of course, also applies to machine learning. So I took on the challenge of collaborating with Bell Labs and CJ Carr to see if I could create a voice opponent, mentor, and collaborator in the same way I had an AI chess opponent when I was a child. As I said, that opponent was a very positive part of my progression in a skill. And now I'm one of the world's best in what I do. Can I use AI again to think in a brand new way, a way that I never had before? The voice you're about to hear is not my voice.
Så det är sånt att det är det mening det almost nice in a form. So this is and so this is we're living there so that this and this with and planet.
How did that voice make you feel? You would think the first time I heard that voice, it would make me feel uncomfortable or challenged, my voice outside of the context of myself. But actually, I was extremely excited. The idea of using machine learning as a tool to create a second self, a pet self, a data limb, something that you own and you're connected to. It's not another, it's not you, it's a in-between. That in-between can inspire. And I set out with CJ Carr and Bell Labs to produce a composition that represented this training process, to create a piece of art that led to a whole new way of experiencing machine learning. The piece you're about to see is called Second Self, and you will see me on that journey. And you will see the idea, the composition, the voice of this embodied artificial intelligence grow in tandem with a dance of vocal duet. I hope you enjoy. One, two, three. 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Enough for a piece of rosum. As is and for with VDM and this expiration just
Our voices are our most precious tool. The more that we push our voices, the more that we push our humanity. And I really believe that extends to artificial voices. The more that we can extend and see artificial intelligence as an augmented limb, an extension, an organ of self, the more that we can use it to push the aspects of humanity and expertise that we really want to elevate. Progression depends on the general public understanding and feeling this technology is accessible, and it is art that is responsible for that happening. We must use awe and experience and wonder to make leading edge technology accessible. Thank you.